First at 6, in about 24 hours, former President Donald Trump will arrive in the Queen City. He is set to hold a rally less than 2 weeks after a shooter opened fire at his campaign event, injuring Trump and 2 others and killing another person. That incident is now sparking security concerns here in Charlotte. And security for tomorrow's event may look more intense than previous campaign rallies, even for those who are not attending.
Queen City News anchor Derek Dellinger tells us about the hours-long delays drivers can expect around the area, and then also how the assassination attempt is impacting what we'll see on the ground in terms of safety.
Former President Donald Trump is set to be here in Charlotte on Wednesday, and it's set to be one of the first big rallies since that assassination attempt in Pennsylvania. We wanted to get a sense of the security and how it's going to be looking like, not only for this rally, but also for any political rally for any political party ahead of the election. It's a fact of life that North Carolina will very likely see soon. As the state is a battleground in the 2024 election, you're going to see more stops, more speeches, more people, and given all the recent events, especially around the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump, security is at the top of everyone's mind. That security can, objectively speaking, lead to a lot of headaches for anyone living or working nearby, and it may be on overdrive now, given recent events.
That anything that you're trying to do, you probably better add an additional half an hour onto what you already know you should add on to.
Vicki Foster is a former assistant chief at CMPD. She knows what it takes to bring dignitaries and those who require additional protection into town. She told us given the events over the last 2 weeks, security around those events will likely be doubled in a way, which would affect traffic all around. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police say traffic effects will last Wednesday between noon and 10 p.m. and around Charlotte Douglas International between 4 and 8:30 p.m. for the Trump rally. Setup for the rally is already taking place. But you may be wondering, why here?
So I think sometimes people don't realize why certain buildings are chosen. But, first you got to think about the traffic. And downtown cannot handle that type traffic at any point in time of the day. And so that's the first thing you have to look at. And then you have to look at, how easy is it to get people in and out, not just from the presidential standpoint, but from the people that are coming to attend the event.
We had a chance to speak to those who live nearby to Bojangles Coliseum. There are neighborhoods surrounding it. Many say they plan on staying in on Wednesday or being as far away from here as possible. And as far as any beefed up security, it will be there, but much of it you likely will not see.
The public will not necessarily see all those changes, but they will feel some of them, especially when it comes to travel time and traffic, things taking longer to go through lines, and probably footprints being pushed out a little further.
The rally here at Bojangles Coliseum again is set for Wednesday at 6 p.m. It is not immediately clear, though, whether or not former President Trump will be alone or if he will have others that will be joining him. In East Charlotte, Derek Dellinger, Queen City News.